Good morning. I'm excited to be able to offer you a online version of our Oils 101 class. We had a fabulous class last night and a lot of great discussion and talk. And so we've also had a lot of requests from those of you who were not able to make the class and were really sad to miss it. And so we thought that this might be the best way to bring that material right to you. No need to even leave your sofa or your jammies. And you can watch it in the comfort of your own home. What we're going to do is we're going to post this video and allow you a couple days to be able to watch it. And then Sunday evening, we're going to come together and I will do a live Q&A. So as you're watching, be sure to write down any questions that you have and then meet me back here on Sunday for a live Q&A where you can be able to ask your questions and I'll be able to answer them. And together we'll learn how to get you started or how to get you maximizing. Maybe you've already purchased your kit and you're just not sure what you're doing with it. Or not maximizing it to its fullest potential. That's really what we want you to go. So what I'm going to do is I'll turn it over and I'm going to head into my slide deck and we'll get started with our Oils 101 class. So what are essential oils? Essential oils are the most powerful part of a plant. Essential oils are the internal juices of a plant. Those juices are called oleoresin gum. We get the word essential oils from the word oleo, and it is the liquid soluble and volatile part of plant juices, and what mostly makes up an essential oil. Think with me, if you open an orange, you know, that zest and that juice that instantly leaps into the air. That's what we call a volatile part of the plant. And when we say that, we're referring to a substance's ability to just leap into the air. That fragrance permeates the whole area. And when you open it, you'll see that oily residue that you get on your hands and how, you know, after you've peeled an orange, you can't get that orange smell off of your hands for quite a while. That is the essence of that fruit. That is essential oil. The volatile part, that leaping of that scent into the air, that's why all essential oils are so fragrant and why you can smell some of our stronger oils from all the way across the room. If I were to uncap some of those stronger oils like a jasmine, you would be able to smell that permeating the entire area. Essential oils are not a passing fad. I hear this all the time. Oh, everybody's on the essential oil bandwagon. And basically, it's not a fad. Their use dates all the way back to Egyptian hieroglyphics that were drawn over 5,000 years ago. King Tut's tomb had alabaster jars filled with frankincense oil found in it when it was excavated. Hippocrates, the great physician, used essential oils in his treatments, tinctures, and salves that he made for his patients. The Old and the New Testament are filled with thousands of mentions of uses of oils, specifically frankincense and myrrh, but other oils as well. One of the flagship discoveries in the use of essential oils was in 1974 when a scientist by the name of R. Denninger conducted a double-blind study on essential oils and the autonomic nervous system. And what he found was that he proved their effectiveness, essential oils' effectiveness, in balancing out the nervous system of those participants. Since then, thousands and thousands and thousands of studies have happened, have gone on to test the effectiveness of essential oils for different uses. And you could find these studies, these medical studies, on a great website called www.pubmed.com. And that website will give you many of those scientific studies that have been done on the uses of essential oils and how they affect our body. So we mentioned oranges in our earlier slide. So where do we get these essential oils? Well, basically, they are distilled from the properties found in herbs, shrubs, fruits, fruit rind, seeds, roots, flowers, saps, resin, bark of different trees, and fruits that have been found to be healthy, beneficial properties for the human body. The best companies don't take shortcuts in their distillation methods. So good distillation will be at low temperature with little to no pressure and no solvents. When we think of squeezing out an oil or that essence of a plant, I typically think of the more pressure, the more you're going to get out of it. But what good distillers have found is not to put a whole lot of pressure. We don't want to do any high heat because high heat can change the properties of the oil. So basically low temperature, little to no pressure. And definitely no solvents. We'll talk a little bit more about solvents in a few slides, but essentially the use of solvent is an additive that can create more yield out of. And while that sounds like it's a good thing, it also brings in chemical properties to your oil. And so you really don't want the use of solvents. Oils can be distilled anywhere from an hour. Some are real quick distilling, and others it might take up to 24 hours for that oil to be fully distilled. So essential oil in the plant form helps the plant often in much the same way that it helps our human system. If a property of that plant helps to regulate it, stabilize it, or keep predators away from it, it often will do the same thing in our human cells. In humans, essential oils provide support for every system of the body. Here on my slide, you'll see your skeletal, your circular, your endocrine and hormonal system, your respiratory, immune, its brain health, provides extensive support for emotions, spiritual support. An oil in a diffuser can soothe a child's tough day or a parent's. Oils can be used as an alternative to toxic cleaning chemicals in your home. You can literally start swapping out every single chemical cleaning toxin in your home to live a purer lifestyle, and you can do it all without breaking the bank. There are about 300 oils on the earth, but you only need about 10 to 20 to build a truly rock star kit that will help you in every area of your health and your home. The good thing is you don't need to be an aromatherapist to be able to use them, no certifications needed. And in most cases, it really is as simple as just rubbing the oil topically to your skin. So how do the oils enter the body and how long do they last? There are three main ways to get oils into your system: topically, ingestion, and diffusion. When we say topically, this is when you rub an oil directly onto the skin, and we'll discuss some cautions with this method in a minute. Ingestion refers to either the adding of the oil to your food or drink, or by filling a small gel capsule and taking the oils orally. Diffusion is often the best method because it does not cause the oil to have to pass through the digestive system, and it can begin working immediately. Well, how quickly do they begin to work? Tests have shown that oils reach the heart, liver, and thyroid in 3 seconds when they're inhaled. They were found in the bloodstream after 26 seconds when they were applied topically. It takes about 3 to 6 hours for a healthy body to expel the essential oils. The oils are burned up in our body by the acids of our body. So the more acidic you are, the more you'll need to reapply, or the more oil you'll need to use, because the oils will have less effect on your body. This is why consistently applying the oils is so crucial. Each oil has many different uses, and each problem has a number of solutions. The beauty of essential oils is that they work differently for different people. What works for me may not work for you. There are so many different options to use for any given issue. So if you buy, let's just say, lavender for sleep and it doesn't work, then use it for respiratory or soothing the skin, because the uses really are endless. When it comes to those, we talked about oils, what works for me may not work for you. For me, I love to sleep with cedarwood and lavender in the diffuser. And for my husband, that doesn't work quite so well because his body chemistry is different than mine. So we've had to kind of play around and find the one that works best for both of us. And so in some cases, my husband will have to apply one particular oil to his feet while we have another one going in our diffuser. Don't get discouraged. It also takes a little bit of time for your body to adjust. So don't use an oil one time and expect miraculous things to happen and then get discouraged if they don't. Use it for a couple of days, a couple of weeks regularly, before you judge whether or not that particular oil works for that particular application. We have a saying around the oil industry, there's an oil for that. And there really is an oil for just about everything. One of the questions I get a lot is, do essential oils really work? Well, basically, I need to tell you my testimony. I have used essential oils for the last 4 years. And 4 years ago, when we moved to North Carolina, we found a new set of doctors and specialists for my daughter. You'll see her there in the pink. That is Emily. And she has been pretty much sick since she was 7 months old. She's struggled with allergies, asthma, upper respiratory infection after infection, really low immune system, and just has really struggled. She's been on maintenance drugs since she was 7 months old, and pretty much every year she took at least 2 to 3 antibiotics every year since she was 7 months old. She's now almost 18. And so when we moved to North Carolina, we found that new doctor, and the doctor looked at me and he said, I believe we've determined what is her problem. She has reactive lung disease, which is basically her lungs are weakened because of her environment, and it restricts her airways, causing her body to be ill. And so he looked at me that day, and as he was going over what we could do, he basically said, I want you to take a look at the cleaners and the chemicals that you're using around your house, that you're using on your body, on her body, and really try to cut that number way, way down. He said those chemicals are what's keeping her sick. And I felt so betrayed. I was so angry when I left that. Because she's been sick, I clean like a mad woman. Every day I clean my house 2 to 3 times a day. We had made multiple concessions to her illness by special types of flooring and floor padding and special mattresses. It wasn't as if we weren't trying to keep her well. And so I knew a little bit about Young Living. I knew a little bit about their Thieves Household Cleaner, and that was what I did that day. I came home and I placed an order with Young Living for a premium starter kit and a bottle of Thieves Cleaner. And one by one, I began replacing all of the cleaners in my house with oily alternatives. And our family began to see significant benefits, specifically Emily. She would go longer periods of time without being sick. And so we began saving money each month on our cleaning products, obviously, but then we began to switch to our personal care products and swapping things out there. And so we no longer needed to buy personal products. So we began to see not only health benefits, but also financial benefits. And my little footnote of this story is just 2 weeks ago from the time that I am taping this video, Emily's doctor officially took her off, removed her from the last of her maintenance drugs for the reactive lung disease. So my little girl, for the first time in 18 years, is completely and totally drug-free. Woohoo! We are so excited by that. I'm really, really excited by that. And so I really credit Young Living. I really credit Thieves Household Cleaner. I really credit being able to make these changes in our life. And so do they really work? Yes, 100%. They absolutely work. And I know that they would work for you as well. So I was at a friend's house this week, and we were having the conversation of, good oils versus bad oils. And basically it comes down to this. Not all oils in the world are created equal. I wish they were, but they're not. I wish there were better guidelines on who could label, how those oils could be labeled, but there's not. And so for now, it's important to understand how they are categorized so that you can make an informed decision. So all oils in the world fall into one of four main categories: grade A, B, C, and D. Grade A is considered therapeutic. It's made from organically grown plants and distilled at very low temperatures. So in order for a plant to be considered organic, it means that the field at which those plants are grown it has to rest for 7 to 10 years before the crop can be planted. They go through vigorous soil samples. It is not easy to be an organic farm. So that when a plant is grown and it's labeled as a therapeutic oil, it's gone through a rigorous testing in order for it to get the A grade. Grade B oils are food grade oils, but they may still contain synthetics. A synthetic is a lab-created chemical that's made to imitate a natural product. It might smell like lemon, it might look like lemon, but if it has synthetics in it, or if it is synthetically made, it is not lemon, it is something aside from that. Grade B oils may also have pesticides, fertilizers, chemical extenders, and carrier oils added to them. Grade C oils are essentially perfume oils, and they often contain adulterating chemicals. The use of solvents is definitely used in grade C oils, and one of those solvents, for example, hexane, which is used to gain a higher yield of oil per harvest. The danger is solvents can be cancerous, and they're often found in many store-bought oils. They may also be diluted 80 to 95% with alcohol. Grade D oils are called floral water. This is an aromatic only, and it's usually a byproduct of grade A distillation. So when those grade A plants are made, they're distilled, and that wastewater is what is left over, that floral water. So essentially, it's trash water. It's sold to companies. They then fill 5% of the bottle with this trash water, and then they'll fill the rest with carriers and fillers and label it pure. In order for an oil to have the pure label, it only needs to contain 5% of oil. So grade A truly is the only pure oil. Grade A means that it is all oil, nothing else. If you were to purchase a grade D oil, it'd be like walking into your fridge, taking out a glass of orange juice, filling it a quarter of the way full with your orange juice, and then filling the rest of it with water before you drank it. It would not have the same benefits as a full glass of orange juice. All those vitamins and nutrients that you need from a full serving, it would not be that. And the same is true with oils. So when you go into these stores, like a Bed Bath & Beyond or Walmart even. I think there's a big rack of Walmart. When you go into them, you need to be super, super careful before you purchase those oils and know what grade oil you're dealing with. I had a friend who had been using peppermint oil. And so she was using this peppermint oil and, it just wasn't tasting right. It wasn't quite working the way that her other peppermint oil had. And after looking at the bottle, realized the label said, first of all, do not apply directly onto the skin. It also said not for ingestion and for aromatic purposes only. When it says aromatic purposes only, that basically means that it is that pretty smelling grade D floral water. It just does not have the same health benefits that using a grade A would be. Even if you are diffusing it, you're only diffusing, remember, a very small portion of that, and so you're not receiving the full benefits. Before you purchase any oils, there are some key things that you need to ask yourself. You need to check to see if the company you're purchasing from grows their own plants. Do they own their own fields? Do they control the entire process from seed to seal or from the field to the bottle? Pesticides, pollution, previously farmed land, these can all affect the quality of an oil. Young Living oils are grade A. Why would you go all the way to the extra step to use an oil to get away from chemicals and improve your health and then have it laden with chemicals? So if you if you already have oils that are not Young Living, I highly suggest that you turn that bottle over, you find their 1-800 number, and you call them and you ask them, what is the grade of the oils that you've purchased? Does that company grow their own plants? Can they for sure tell you that there was no pesticides? Do they know what was on that land before they planted? Can they tell you whether or not the company or the distiller? So sometimes you might have a company that grows their plants and then they send it to a middle distiller, a middleman, and that distiller may still use fillers, stabilizers, or synthetics, or they might fill for another company that regularly uses that and it's on the equipment. So it's super important to know where your oil has come from. Do they use weed killers on the crops? Because what's happening is if you're taking that oil and you're ingesting that, you're then putting those weed killers, those pesticides. You would not knowingly go out to your garden shed and put that in your body, but yet, think nothing of using an oil, not knowing that it may have that inside. So it's super important to know where you're buying your oils from and what's in them. So this past weekend, I visited with a friend, and I love my friend dearly. She's not an oily user, very, very new to the oil scene. And she proudly showed me a bottle of oil that she had purchased for $8 at her local store. And so we began talking through some of the things that you and I have just talked through. And her question was, well, why are some so much cheaper than others? Today we're all looking for a bargain. And so, we definitely want to make sure that we're not getting gypped. And, pure oil, when we buy those oils from some of the companies, it seems like they're so much more expensive than if you were to walk into Walmart and buy a bottle of lavender. Isn't it the same thing? And the answer is no, it is not the same thing. One of the things that stands out to me about Young Living seed to seal process is the promise of integrity. Gary Young has said he never makes an oil for profit, he only makes it for a purpose. Seed to seal means that each plant is hand weeded. There are no pesticides used. There are no chemicals. There are no weed killers. The plants are harvested at their peak, and then they're put through a very vigorous process of testing. If they don't meet muster at that testing, he will throw out the entire crop. One of my favorite oils is Peace and Calming, and we call this oil the unicorn because when you find it, when it does come back in stock, you want to buy 82 bottles of it just to hoard it in case, because if that crop is not picked at its absolute peak and it doesn't pass the testing, our company will definitely trash an entire crop and just won't put out the oil if they can't promise that it's going to be the right quality. They go directly from the farm to your home. Everything is done on site, no middleman. Seed to Seal isn't just a slogan, it's a promise. When you get a bottle of our oil, you know that you can completely trust that oil for what it is. Some companies sell their oils cheaper, frankly, because they've cut corners and they've been able to do that. If you spray your crop with pesticides, you have more crop to distill. If you use a chemical solvent to extract your oil, you can pull more out. If you dilute it with a cheaper oil or a carrier oil, you stretch the oil that you have distilled. Most oils are sold more cheaply because companies cut corners. It takes a lot to produce a tiny bit of oil. How much? Well, let's look at this. 60,000 rose blossoms are needed to produce 1 ounce of rose oil. The sandalwood tree, I love the smell of sandalwood, but the sandalwood tree has to be 30 years old, 30 feet high before they can even cut it down for distillation. This is my favorite, the jasmine flowers. So jasmine flowers must be picked by hand before the sun becomes hot on the very first day that they open. This makes it one of the most expensive oils in the world to produce. It takes 8 million hand-picked blossoms to produce 2.2 pounds of oil. And lavender, it takes 220 pounds of lavender to produce 7 pounds of oil. So for a little bit of oil, it takes a whole lot of work. But the good news is, this is the silver lining. The good news is a little bit of oil will go a very long way. If you buy a 5 milliliter bottle of oil, it will contain about 90 drops. A 15 milliliter oil will contain about 250 drops. So what does that mean? Well, if you use just 1 to 3 drops of oil per application, even that small bottle, the 5 ml bottle, will give you 45 to 90 applications of that oil. So it really does stretch, making it just pennies per times that you use that. The other good news is that most oils range in price, and most of our oils are from about $10 to about $30 for a bottle of oil. Obviously, if we're talking about jasmine is definitely one of those expensive oils. But most of the wide variety of what we do, and remember, you only need about 10 to 20 oils to build a rock star kit. So how do you use oils safely? When using oils on your skin, you always want to watch for redness, and you definitely want to dilute with a high quality carrier oil. Dilute oils always win on children because their skin is more permeable than an adult's and they can absorb oils quicker. You've heard me mention this word carrier oil. What is it? Well, a carrier oil is a fatty oil like an olive oil or coconut oil. Those are two of my favorite carrier oils. And basically, the carrier's molecules are much larger than those of essential oils, which gives you a protective barrier on your skin from the oil, which some oils are considered hot oils, meaning that they could actually cause a burn. So you definitely want to use them with a good quality carrier oil. Using a carrier oil with an essential oil will slow down the rate of absorption in your body, which will also allow it to last a little bit longer when you're using them. It's very important. You never want to use an essential oil in your eye or in any of your mucous membranes. And I really don't recommend using specific oils ever on the genitals. You know, around the inner thigh for some is very arousing, but I don't know that there's ever a need to put it directly onto genitals. If you're ingesting the oil, it's super important to know where it came from and that it's safe to ingest. Not all oils are safe. When you purchase Young Living, we have a whole line called Vitality. And those Vitality oils are wrapped in a white paper. This was due to FDA guidelines to really make sure that people knew which oils we recommend you ingest and which oils we don't. And in our catalog, there's always a guide that will show you, it'll have like a small figures, and basically they'll tell you this oil is for diffusion, this is considered a hot oil, this oil is for ingestion, and it'll give you suggestions on how to use each and every one of our oils. And one of our guides always comes in your new member kit. If you are really interested in seeing one of our catalogs, definitely contact me and I'd be happy to send one out to you. As with every health regimen, you always want to talk to your doctor when you're starting something new. When we went to Emily's doctor 3 weeks ago, we took her whole oil regimen and showed the doctor as we talked through with him to make the choices. And you want to do the same. Never ever stop taking your medication in place of an oil. Always under the guidelines of your doctor. You know, as your health improves and he gives the okay, only then would you want to wean yourself off of a medication. Some oils are definitely best to be avoided by pregnant, nursing women, or very young children. And so, again, always do your research. There's a great book for pregnant nursing and for caring for young babies. It's called Gentle Babies. Highly recommend this book to have as a resource to, you know, if you're in that guideline of wanting to be pregnant or nursing your children. So how do you get started? Well, for me, the Premium Starter Kit is definitely the way to go. If you look at the ingredients of what you have in your bathroom, in your kitchen, every day we put products on our skin, in our body, breathe them in, but many of these products contain dangerous chemicals. The average woman applies over 300 chemicals a day to her body just through soaps, makeups, shampoo, and hair care products. 80 of those products are used every day before breakfast. When you use Young Living essential oils, you're using a product with one ingredient. No additives, no yuck. I started my journey with a starter kit and a bottle of Thieves household cleaner. The starter kit is the only thing on Young Living's website that is 0.5% off. They want their oils to be accessible and usable for everyone. It is the biggest bang for your buck. If you were to take each one of the things that you see on the screen and divide them up, plus a diffuser, it would cost you anywhere between $330 to about $400, depending upon if they're giving away a freebie for that month. And it could be about $400 if you were to split them all up. When you order the Premium Starter Kit, you get 11 oils. You can pick which one of your diffusers. So the max amount your starter kit would cost you is anywhere from $160 to, if you want the diffuser with all the bells and whistles, the Aria diffuser will cost you about $260 for your starter kit. Inside your starter kit, you'll get those 11 oils, and we're going to talk a little bit about those. So what you'll get frankincense, which is one of the best skin oils. It's also super good for brain support. Lavender. Everyone knows lavender for sleep, but lavender is also a great one for burns. It's also a great one for sunburn. If you get sunburn, you just put a little bit of lavender and aloe on your skin, and your skin will be so much happier. And It's also a great one for just skin tone to use on your face as part of your nightly regimen. It's considered the Swiss Army knife because it truly does have so many uses. I use this one in place of laundry dryer sheets. I put a couple drops of lavender on wool balls and use it in my laundry regimen. So it definitely is very widely used. Peppermint is a great one for the gastrointestinal system. It also may provide a boost of energy before you work out. You take a drop of peppermint, put it on the roof of your mouth, and it will definitely give you a really good boost. If you're sluggish midday, another great thing to do is just put a drop of peppermint up on the roof of your mouth, and it'll kind of give you that boost to get you through your afternoon. Peppermint's also really good for metabolism. I use this in my water bottle every day, and I find that the more I drink the peppermint water, the more I want to drink. And so what that does is basically it helps me get in my daily intake of water, and I'm helping my system all at the same time. Purification, if you have stinky boys, you definitely are going to be super, super happy. I have a teenage son. I make my own room spray, and I hit his room daily. This is a great one to keep the air fresh. It diminishes smells, so if you cook broccoli and diffuse some purification, that smell will go away. Same with if you cook fish. Pretty much every night when we cook fish, we put purification in the diffuser just to kind of take that smell out of the air, and it does an amazing job. Purification is also really good during the summer months to keep the creepy crawlies away. The ants and mosquitoes don't like the scent, and so I've actually used purification in my bug wipes. And so no more do I need the DEET spray for bug repellent. I have, with paper towel and just a couple ingredients of my oils and water, I was able to make my own bug wipe that's cleaner than using all that spray, goes on really quick, and travels well with us right in a Ziploc bag and a backpack. So really, really love purification. Thieves was definitely the oil that drew me to Young Living. It's my favorite oil. I use it in many, many different cleaning applications. Use the Thieves Whole Household Cleaner. I highly recommend that one. But Thieves is also a great one for respiratory support and maintaining overall health and wellness and immune support. Every Sunday when we get ready to go to church, we hand the kids their shoes, their Bible, and a dose of Thieves. Every morning when my husband gets ready to go into his germ-infested office, I give him a drop of Thieves in his green tea and give him a Thieves lozenge that we make, and out the door he goes in hopes that he doesn't bring any nasties back with him. Stress Away promotes wellness. It's one of the top emotional oils. So if you have had a really rough day, some Stress Away in a bath is just absolutely amazing. Stress Away in your diffuser will make you think you're on a sandy beach, and you instantly will find your brain just kind of unknotting and calming down. It's a really good one. Lemon is a great food enhancer and helps support immune system. It can also be added to olive oil to help eliminate the need for a dusting spray. A little bit of olive oil on a dusting rag and a little bit of lemon oil, and dust your hardwood surfaces, and it'll be the best dusting agent you've ever used. Highly recommend that one. And it costs, you already own it. You already own olive oil, so it costs you nothing to dust, and you don't need to spray the chemicals into the air using a duster. That's one of the things I love about our oils, is that one set of oils will give you 1,000 different uses, household uses all around the house. So what you think you might be buying it for, you actually will find you can use it for 10 other different things. So really, really getting a bang for your buck. Copaiba is one of the next ones that we'll talk about. And this one, I left this in my box forever until I realized how amazing it is. Basically, Copaiba will help every single system in your body. You can take this one internally. You can use this one if you get the yuck. You can put this in your diffuser with some RC, which we'll talk about in a minute, to kind of clear out your yuck and nasal passages. And this is a really good one. Panaway is awesome for soothing sore, tired muscles. Put that one with a carrier oil and rub that on knees, ankles, legs, wherever after a good workout. If you just are, if you just have a headache, putting it at the temples will really help that as well. Digize is a rock star. It is our top oil for digestive support. If you know the old commercial upset stomach, indigestion, well, no longer do you need that product if you have Digize. Digize is awesome. I keep this in my purse pretty much at all times for nausea and indigestion and whatever else, any kind of stomach discomfort. This one is my go-to. RC supports your respiratory system. So again, if you have the yuck, you put this on your chest, put this on your feet, diffuse this. It's got an awesome lemony, citrusy smell and will really help. Your kit's also going to come with some samples of our signature drink, Ningxia Red, and this will give you a huge energy boost. It is an awesome source of antioxidants, kind of helps heal free radicals within your body and eliminate them. It's an awesome protein source. So one little packet of Ningxia Red is an awesome thing for you to have as part of your daily regimen. So we do this class local. We also do make and takes. So we've talked about a number of things: body butter, bath salts, cleaning products that you can make yourself, bug wipes. And we would love to come to you and do this for your class, do this in your home for your family, your friends, your group. Or maybe you think, hey, my friends really need to know about essential oils and how to use them. I'd like you to come and do this class for me. We would love to do that. I would love to do that. So if this is something that you are interested in, definitely contact me. I would love to help you. So if you are interested in purchasing a starter kit, I am going to talk you through that. Basically, if you visit our site, www.morein24.com, you'll see a Young Living tab over to the right. When you click on that tab, it's going to drop down and you'll see Purchase Young Living. You're going to click that and go through, and it'll show you, do you want to be a wholesale member or do you want to be a retail member? And definitely wholesale is the way to go. By doing wholesale, this gets you 24% off of everything that you purchase, and no membership fee is required. So as you're using, isn't it awesome to be able to use these oils daily for your health and your home and be able to replenish them for a discount? And that's what Young Living allows through their wholesale membership. So you're going to click Next, and it's going to take you through and make sure, do you want Melissa Todd to be your sponsor and enroller? You click Next, and then at that point it's going to have you pick your kit. So you at that point can choose which one of the diffusers you use. If you're going with some of that lower range, I highly recommend the home diffuser. It is my favorite of our lower mid-grade diffusers, so highly recommend that. I have 4 of them throughout my house. If you want one of the higher grades, you can go, they have the bells and whistles, and you can see their little remote controls with them. So those diffusers are available as well, and you can pick which one you want. At that point, it's then going to take you through and ask you, do you want to go on our monthly ship? And I'm going to explain that to you. So our Essential Rewards program is basically the key way to maximize your purchasing power. So when you sign up for Essential Rewards, you get discounted shipping, you get access to exclusive rewards products. Every month for being on Essential Rewards, when you place your order, you will automatically be given a free product to choose just by that faithful order. You can pick whatever products you want and which day you'd like them each month to ship them to you. It's free to join. You can do it and try it for 3 months. I highly recommend that. And you can cancel it anytime. You're not locked into it. But the best part about being on Essential Rewards is that when you are on Essential Rewards, it basically is a cash back program. So when you purchase your monthly staples, you are earning cash back that you then can use at a later point in time for anything, free product. And as you are on, your percent back gets bigger. So for the first couple of months, it's a 10%. When you graduate to the next level, it'll be 15. And then finally, you could be earning 20% back on everything you purchase through Essential Rewards. And you'll be getting that much back that you then can turn into free product. So if you're using the toothpaste and the cleaning products and the Ningxia Red, or just even your basic oils, this is definitely the way to go. I'm going to show you, if you are interested in signing up, how quickly and easy it is for you to be able to do that. As you'll see our navigation bar up here at the top. You're going to go to the Young Living tab, click that, scroll down to purchase Young Living essential oils. And then you'll see over here that the member box indicating that you'll get your 24% off and all of the goodies that we talked about earlier in this video is already checked. You'll see my enroller and sponsor number right there on the bottom, and that's exactly what we want. And at this point, you're just going to go ahead and hit continue. When you hit continue, it's going to take you through the prompts confirming that yes, indeed, you'd like me as your sponsor and enroller. It's then going to walk you through and ask you to pick your kit and which diffuser you would like in your kit. And then from there, it's going to ask you if you'd like to sign up for Essential Rewards. And we've already determined that yes, that's a very good idea. Once you get through all of that, it's going to ask you to put in your information, your contact information, your address, and then you're going to hit next. And it's just going to walk you through, continuing through the prompts. Just follow the prompts, hit the next button, and it's as simple as that, and you will be on your way to oiling regularly in no time. So I hope that you have learned lots. We will have more on our question and answer time on Sunday, and I look forward to that, and I hope you all have a great day.